welcome to Whiteboard Wednesday. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit differently because what we're going to go through is a quick and fairly simple, also fairly cringy, vocal warm-up. I've often been asked if I warm up my voice before a presentation, a workshop or some sort of public talk. And the truth is, I do. I spend a few minutes warming up my voice, and as embarrassing as it is, it does definitely make a difference. So I'm going to go through a 4-step process to warm up your voice. Now, you can do this with me, or you can just take these tips and do it in your own time as you're preparing for some sort of speech, talk or workshop, for example. So the 4 tips, I've got them on my whiteboard as always, are, I'm just going to wheel it in over here if you can see that. Okay, so the first thing to do is to drink. Now this isn't to drink any tipple of choice. For me, I always have a little bit of honey and lemon with boiling water to just warm up my voice a little bit and just help soothe my throat. So I've even got props today. How exciting. A little bit of honey, a little bit of lemon, works a treat. Sometimes you have this if you've got a sore throat. This might be your go-to. For me, it's part of my warm-up routine. Also very good for you as well. So that's the first thing. Drink a cup of honey and lemon. The next thing to do is to stretch. So and this is different stretches of your body, not just your facial stretches, which you might anticipate. So I would do some stretches, mainly sort of stretches to kind of stretch my arms up. I would stretch over to one side, I stretch over to the other side, almost like a physical warm-up, like you would be if you was going for a run, for example. Do some stretches and just feel a little bit more energized going into your talk. Then try to stretch some of the muscles of your face, and this is where it starts to get a little bit cringy. So I say the wow word over and over just to try to get a little bit more space. So you can do this with me if you want to. So we just go around wow, wow, wow. You don't actually have to say the sound. You could just do it without the sound, but I think it helps for the warm-up to have the sound there. You can see the difference. The other thing to do on the third process is to make some different sounds. So there's different letters of the alphabet that I go through that just helps with articulating yourself when you're speaking as well. So start with a D, so da 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 da, go into a T, ta 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 ta, go into an L, la 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 la, M, m m m m m m m, and finish with K, ka 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 ka. When you do those, I did say this is going to be a cringy video, guys, but when you do those sounds, you'll see that it's different positions of your tongue when you're doing those warm-ups, and that really helps with your articulation when you're speaking as well. So give those a go, just twice round each of those letters of the alphabet. You might find different letters that you want to do. Same with the stretches. You'll find stretches that work for you. What works for me might be different to yourself. This is just some ideas to get your warm-up ready to go. And then finally, we throw. Again, continuing with the cringy theme, but normally you'll be doing this in your own time, in your own space. But this is about throwing your voice to the end of the room. Even when you're doing an online presentation or in person, you still want to make sure your voice projects to the person at the back of the room. Even in an online space, we still want to project our voice. So this is where we do a bit of a javelin throw. And I've done this in group workshops before as well, and everyone does get involved. So you lean back as though you're throwing a javelin. Olympics recently, very relevant. As though you're throwing a javelin, and you're going to throw your arm, and as you do it, you're going to count to 5. So you'll throw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do you see what I mean? So you're throwing your voice and keeping that volume going right to number 5. This just helps with that projection of your voice. Now, I'm hoping this has been a useful vocal warm-up. I would say just do it once and see how you feel. I notice a difference when I warm up my voice and when I don't. And it only takes a few minutes to do these 4 things. Find what works for you. Yes, it's cringy. Yes, it's a little bit embarrassing, but it should be worth it. And you should see the difference between warming up your voice and not. So that's the very different Whiteboard Wednesday tip today. How to warm up your voice and what my vocal warm-up is. Give it a go. If you found this video useful, check out even more ways to upgrade your impact by subscribing to my YouTube channel.